The first number is X. The second number is Y. The third one? That is what you have to be careful. Because the function has, we call them entries or items. How many items? 3 items. So you have X, you have Y, you have Z. So you have to give 3 items. Then what is going to be? It's going to say X power of Y over Z. It means 10 to the power 11 times divided by 60. There you see the answer.
You add your own formula. Yes. And also add multiply and everything. You see? So it depends to what you want, okay? Okay. You know the volume of the sheet? You forgot. Like the other person I really thank you trust because I have also to read what gives you. Meaning I don't trust. I say, Jenny, I don't see any point in my class. So when students are depending, sometimes you see they copy everything in chat. Even the format, see the format is the same. And it's a bit for the and you ask me, do you write that in your own? Yes, I do. And then you choose one written thing. Then you explain that because that she has in a very English. You understand? When you explain what that sentence means, even if it's exactly English, it's another problem. Now there is one woman who will tell you, and they copied everything. You know, at the end, check says, you feel like you need to add more. Or you want me to explain in the clear terms that you can understand. You go to put in that no, AI. So AI can really be very helpful to speed up the work and so on. But you need to know, I would love it, maybe, I don't know whether but there are specific codes you use in ChatGPT to get the kind of content which you can trust. You understand? Even using ChatGPT, it's not just opening and you pay or you don't take it. There are specific codes you use. Yes. Which one? Today is okay. Okay, this is what we call a fact.
function. Let's speed up. Okay, let's look at what we call measure of central tendency. Which measures of central tendency do you know? So which measures of central tendencies do you know? Media? And waited and waited. Cook it or not cook it. Fried. Okay. So the measures of dispersion. Dispersion, dispersion. The dispersion. Is that how you say? Yes. Range. Yes. Letters. Nuts. And mean. Okay. One side. Okay. Letters. Okay. Okay. You also know you are aware of what we call the okay. We have the measures of variability. We have variation. Vectors. Variance. Variance.
then they go there, and so on. So, those are the things that statistics. But we don't have say that to no secondary or primary. I know I'm telling that's what you read how to play. And you take away each one of them. Oh yeah, kindergarten, kindergarten, or in the crèche. Yes. I was saying, you know, go hand of road. We can do a research on there is no solid. Ariko kubona bakana kiriya kitabo cy'uko icyongereza neza igifaransa neza si byiza ni byiza ariko bimenye ko nanone waba mutanga agahita atsinda ari mu byana akatsinda rwabo uba mu yashaka yaba yaracitse mbere nka umuntu ariko akifite akifite But nowadays you cannot have a 5 years kid at home without going to school. Yeah, that cannot work. Imagine sitting with your 3 years kid and we are not going to when you pronounce something in another way, he says no. And you know you even have a PhD or you have master, you have a bachelor, but a 3-year child is saying yes. So this is okay, but we were also busy. We have been cowboys, and that's an experience. What do we call a mean or average? What do you understand by a mean? It's a very easy question, but I want to challenge you. What do you understand by a mean? You all assume you know, isn't it? But even in the year, I will resolve that. You understand by a mean.
Or it's an average of numerical numbers.
So what is happening?
Average
Yes, you can add that. Which can represent? You understand? Which can represent? So it's a balanced value of code, but not talking at that. Which can be used to represent other numbers. Other numbers managed. Is a representative variable of numerical numbers. You understand? No. If I say this is x1, this is x2, this is x3, this is x4. These are different numbers. I may even reach to a very long list. Salaries of people in one organization. We have how many staff? 5,000 staff. But what can be a representative value of all salaries, which can have a meaning of how this organization is paying the staff? Okay?
Yes.
We can use the mean instead of repeating. We say Zashe gets this salary, this one gets this salary, this one gets. No, we need a unique value, which can be a representative value. Okay, so mean is one of those values. It's not only the value, but one of those values because it depends on the data. Okay, now, so the mean is kind of it's trying to balance both sides. Those who have high salary and those who have low salary. You understand? So then you say in our organization, it is staff, not all staff. Because if you say all staff, it will be a summation of all salaries. But summation of all salaries does not tell us the dispersion of your salary. Does not tell us, because if you come and you say in our organization, at the end of the month, we give 1 million USD to pay our staff. So that's really sounds of a good number, a very big number, isn't it? Very big number, 1 million USD, 1 million. That's a very big number. But the mean will not tell us about the total. It will tell us about one staff gets what, comparing it to other staff. You understand? That's which makes sense. Because this will tell us at least in an organization we pay higher or pay less. Okay? Because we have a representative. So a staff in an organization gets this value of salary. That's a mean. The same to median. Okay, so median is also an end value in the middle of all points when you order them at an ascending or descending order. Okay, the middle one, regardless of who has the maximum, regardless of who has the minimum. What in the middle? If there are 50 people, let's put their salary in order. Okay, so what is 50? The one in the middle is 25 and 26, isn't it? So 25 and 26 divided by 2, 25.5. So we take the salary of the 25th person and 26th person. So then we have this, we divide by 2. This is a representative value. The mean is good. The median is good when there are people who are getting more salaries or very low salaries, because the mean does not care who gets more, does not care who gets less. The median takes only the middle value, but the mean will be affected by that boss who is getting more than others. You understand? The mean is not a middle value. The mean is a representative value, but it can be, say for example, in your organization, you can say CEO gets 6 million, but another white collar gets like 50,000. So this 6 million, when you calculate the mean, it's going to affect the mean. Because you will report that the organization, at least the staff gets 500,000. Why? 70% of the staff will get 100,000.
Yes. I have a very good example I want to share with you. I used to work for a government industry company, like very special economic zone. And our investment, the investment policy is sometimes attracting foreign investors with incentives, giving free space, exemption on import, whatever. And the condition was to create massive jobs. That company was employing 7,000 people. And looking at that figure, 7,000 jobs, you can be impressed. But well, majority, more than 90%, was those people, young people, suing, doing whatever. And those people who was a child was paid in US dollars, more than 10,000. With other benefit like house, whatever. But the rest,
They are paid.
70 in 100,000. So that's if you want to get to the impact, the contribution of that company, if you can better use your salary, even though the most frequent analyst. But looking at that figure of 7,000, it doesn't mean.
Yeah, it does not give real information. I mean, it gives real information because we don't test in reality. But is it really the figure we are presenting in a cabinet in whatever? Is it really a good figure which represents the statistical reality? Because there is a reality there. There is also a statistical reality. Before you do the analysis, because of course the person who is getting more than 10,000 USD, that's a very huge amount of money. You can even pay like 20% of the staff. You understand?
So also you can work in statistics, you can have some conditions.
Yeah.
That because they stay up and you so have these skills and these skills. And also they can fix but more than people who are the local and these are conditions for that people.
No, I'm not saying that there is no factors of the other way behind. But what we are trying to understand is the salaries of people. I got the one that says salary bias. When we are presenting the reality in the numbers, we need to think about the ranges. Okay? Like he's saying, 90% they will get more than, less than 100,000. And the boss was getting 10,000 USD. You understand? Nowadays, if you convert that into one economy, it's around 15 million. How much? 15 million, how many people can find with the 100, 15 million over 100,000, 5 million, 5 million. Then 150.
I'm trying to compare what one has even that example. How much shall I get from me? And what is the good number three? Either medium or minimum.
I was trying to, and also literally I give this example of the standard deviation, but nowadays I was trying to avoid it so that you can understand clearly. Okay, that I'm making it. Okay, just give me like 5 minutes. Okay, then we understand why does mean and median matter. Okay, and from that we will also discuss the standard deviation. Okay, so let's have these numbers. You just okay. I was trying to. I want to zoom in. Okay. So you are like, you don't want me to skip this. So let's say we have some people here, okay? One is getting, I'm giving very less numbers so you can understand, okay? 30, okay? The other one is getting 2, the other one is getting 1,000, the other one is getting 10, the other one is getting 50. So how many animals? 5. Okay, we can add 6, there's no problem. So this one is getting 100. Okay, 15,000. You see, from these 5 people, I want to explain why mean, why median, why standard deviation, why variance, why whatever. Okay, so if you calculate the mean, we say the mean, okay, so the average, this is the average of these people. Did I reach the last person? Okay, the average is 1,600. Okay, how many people get the mean? How many people get paid the amount which is equivalent to the mean or above? 1. You understand that? This is very practical. When you calculate the mean, it will be affected by this extreme value, the value which is different from other values. Now, in this case, we don't have to refer to the mean. The mean is affected by what we call the outliers. So in this case, we report what we call the median. Why? If I calculate the median, I'm labeling this for your information. The mean is the median. If I do this median, you see, the median is what? 40. So the median is calculated how? The median is calculated by, you see, starting from 2. What is the other value? We put in ascending order, isn't it? We have 2, 10, 50, 100, 10,000. So now there are 6 people, isn't it? So we take the
15 and we divided by 2.
15. You have this one and this one divided by 2, and then you get 40. How many people get 40? Get 40 as a salary. This 1, 2, 3,
4, 3.
3. At least these people they get less than 40. How many get more than 40? 1, 2, 3. There are 3, which means the median is the half. You understand? So now, if you report that in this expression, a person gets a salary of 40, it makes sense. You understand? Because at least 50 they get that and 50 they are above that. You don't care who goes beyond, but you want to represent something in the which it makes sense in that organization. But if you present this mean like that one, very biased. Now these people will not be around to go to bank later on because they are bosses. They will be limited from some services because they are bosses. And the reason they are bosses is because of this post. Are we together? Now, if I take this value, what we call the variation or deviation, let me call it deviation. What does deviation mean? You know, the mean is 160 something, 160 that. So if I say how many variation, what do you want to do to achieve to be paid the mean? Because the mean is representing even you. So how far are you with the mean? So you are negative. It means you are below the mean with this one. You understand? So now what I do, I'm just going to minus that from each and every person. Okay. Here. That makes it 60. Okay. You see, this person is below this amount. In front of the mean. Imagine in the class when they say you are below the mean of the class. The man is below in that class. They calculate the mean max and you are below the mean. You understand? So now you below, above. Below. Now this is what we call the deviation. So which means the person has deviated this magnitude, this value from what was to represent him. Because every person is not getting the above the representation. The representative value, it's a summary. It's a representation of all values. So they should be people below, they should also be people above. But what mathematics says, if whether you go above or you go below, the summation of the deviation is equal. Because maybe because we have this one, I don't know if it will work. But if we say, for example, C, I don't even have to calculate that. I can make it here. You see here now, their account is 6, which means there are 6 people. Are you following? Don't think we have gone in Excel. We are not in the R. This is an example of major central tendency values and so on. So I don't want. I mean, if you go there, I want to be explaining because you have already seen. Okay. So this is count of 6 value. What is the sum? 0. This is the mathematical theory. The summation of the deviations is equal to 4. Now, this person has deviated this amount. This has deviated this amount. Okay? This has deviated this amount. The same here, the same here, the same here. Now, if they ask you, what is the unit, like the representative value of the deviation? Because the deviation also means something. If the deviation is big, it means there is a very big difference between the values. Are we together? So now if they come and they say, like 1% deviates at what step, we need what we call standard deviation. Because it's a deviation, but it's a standard one. It's like it's the average of the deviations, if I may say that. Okay? So now when we are calculating the standard deviation, what is the formula? Do you remember? And you come here for coding. Computer science. Could be computer science. They don't write. I don't know computer science. It depends on what you want it to be. Yeah, I was a great in the computer science. The guy has a servant. You won't go by a banzari buffoon. You are very much. I thought you were going to have them. Hey, sorry for my getting the mother. Yeah, hey, you are computer science. I think as I'm the secretary. I think in computer science, it's knowing how to write, knowing how to narrator. Hey, you know, that's in the next. Anyway, you get computer science, and look over the weekend. When you go to computer science, it's knowing how to send the email, no, how to deal with the computer. He was not prepared to operate the computer inside, deal with the code and so on. Okay? Deviations. The formula, yes. The formula is standard deviation is conversion of every entity XR, the mean over inside over N or N minus 1, depending on whether you are working with sample or the population. But we will use N, there is no problem. Okay? Then this is what we have done. We have taken each value minus the mean to find the deviations. Are we still together?
Yes.
Now, what we are going to do, we are going to square this one, the deviation. So I'm going to have this equal this one times this times itself. Yes. Yeah. Right there. Great. Yeah. Now we are here. We are done, isn't it? The numerator is done. Okay. Then we are going to find the summation over N. What is the N? N is the sum of this number over 6. So the deviation is this one. That's very huge. That is the variance. Oh, sorry. Yeah, so the standard deviation, this is not the standard deviation. The standard deviation is a square. Yes. Yeah, thank you. So then we have the sum, and then to find the standard deviation, we have square roots of this. Okay, this is now our standard deviation, 3000 something. Okay. Okay, now let's calculate the other standard deviation in a quick way without going into these steps. So in Excel, standard deviation is like this one. You put standard STD of population, of which logic you cannot this much. What is the answer? The answer is the same. What? I tell you. That is the standard deviation. So which means each person deviates from the mean by 3,713. Yeah. Okay, so that is what we call the standard deviation. Okay, I like giving an example here because most of people here are parents. Sometimes a student or your child will bring marks at home at the end of the semester. He says, I got 91%. This is very huge, isn't it? But you immediately say, I will take you to where? Nowadays, where are you taking your shot to? Come again from Kabel. You buy Kabels for your 3-year term. So you say, you know, I will take you to Chibuye, you don't know, Chibuye or the other areas. So he saying because he got the don't celebrate before you know who got the maximum and who got the minimum. Because you need to know the dispersion of mark in that class. This person may the last person may have 86 and the first one is having 100. This one is more closer to the last one than the first one. But you celebrate because it is 91. No. Yeah, you can. I asked the teacher. Yes, I know the max is 91, but who is the first? Eh?
1%.
But excellent comparing to what?
To the courses.
Eh?
Only going like maybe like read.
And you were home. Okay, so I hope this is clear. Now we explain what is the median, what is the mean, what is the standard deviation, and also the variance. All they are included in measures of central tendency, the measures of dispersion. I mean, the measures of the central tendency, like the mean, and also the measures of variation, like the standard deviation and variance. Okay, so whenever you meet the standard deviation, please know how to interpret it, because these things you may know them, to how to calculate, how to do whatever and so on. But the good thing is, how do you interpret that? How can you explain that to the person in those areas? You didn't have a chance to go to school. How do you explain this value? Are you going there in our, like for example, in Yamashita, we are going to the other district. So you say, we did the research and the standard deviation was 5. What is that? Okay. Now, say for example, we have maths of students. Okay. So it's a combination of 20, 67, 80, 40, 5. Okay. You run this. Not there. And then you say, I need the mean. The mean is there, and you say the mean of maths. Only that. So they will say, okay, the mean is 50.4. I need the median. Okay, you say median of is there. I need the I don't know, I need the, for example, I need the maximum minimum. What is max of max? Okay, and you have the minimum, the mean of max. Plus max. Can also say I need the range. The range we have 20 and 80. So for example, you need the standard deviation must be
Is STD or ST? In the deviation and not. So let's say you need variance of marks. Variance or var? And we know okay. You can say maybe you need quartiles. Yeah? Okay. Marks. You need to specify the plots. You don't need 50%, 70%, they get less than 70 and 70. Yeah. And the mode is like get mode or something, but mode, you know, how can you have not input it? You have any repetition there? No repetition. I'm not going to add. Yeah. And one of them. Okay. And then get mode. You get mode. Sure. Whenever modes. No. Hey, this is the number. Oh, how do I do that? So maybe we have the holding the same half modes. The image like this. Modes in the aside. We create the mode of maps and then we no get mode of maps. And now this is good for you. And then we launch the mode and say, oh no, mode. Or get working get modes. I've got good levels the building without having any memory. Why? Hmm? Get what underscore. I'm trying this. Hey, only you mean underscore at the end.
No.
Get underscore what? Yeah, okay, I'm trying that. I thought get what can work with what. Huh? See, it's not recognized. You know, let me see the other functions and then that's.
See, just remove that small.
Yeah, no, it should even work. Good, and then we don't use. Yeah, this is another one from this. That's why. It should. Can you try on your end? I don't know. It's not working. It should be working. Yeah, let's see. Maybe not okay. And maybe you can install a package called Modest, but yeah, but no, I don't want to introduce back packages now. Yes. So, okay, so you can try get more. If it does not work, I will mention about that when we get to the packages. Okay. So the package, the external functions that we need. Now, import import that extension into R. Are you ready to import? So do you see the other two data sets I gave to you on WhatsApp or in a Google Class? Copy them, get them, and paste them in this folder, in the folder of R. The data sets you have there. Good? Yes. Just copy them there in WhatsApp. You can get them from WhatsApp or from Google Class. Okay? No, you bring them up. Maybe please take the two data sets and make sure they are in the same folder, in that specific folder. Okay?
Do you have the files in the folder?
Okay. Hmm? Practical. Yeah, it's practical. It's full practical. And if you don't continue the practice, you even forget how to open the course. For example. Yeah. You need to do many practice. So, wait. Okay, maybe before we know how to import, because this will be the last thing to talk about. Let's see how you can append and bind the vectors or the data. So before this, let's see. Oh, sorry. Okay, let's say you have the variable or a vector which is called yields or harvest or crops. Okay, this is a combination of what and what. It's a combination of
The crops is a combination of which crops? Okay. Beans. And we can stop here. So around this, so now we have a list of crops, okay? Okay. So we have another list. For example, let's say we have another list. No, this is crops one. Please listen. Because I changed the name, it was crops, now it is crops one, isn't it? So I have to run it again so it can be realized that it's crops one. You understand? Yes. No, it does not. Yes, crops two. Now I have crops two. Yes. Oh, le produits agricoles, like agricultural product, maize, the hardcore, the potato, and so on. And so on, it is not English. End of thinking, etc.
Soybean. Soybean.
So,
Soybean.
soybeans, soybeans, soybeans. What is that?
She's also listed
Oh, carrots. Okay. Tomato. Huh? What else? Cabbages. Amashwari. Eh? Cabbages. Onion. It's fine. You can step in. So we have crop two. Of group two. Now we can do append these two crops. We can do append or we assign, we say crop lists. When we assign, we say appends. Okay. Append what? Crops one. Crops one. Comma. Crops two. Crops two. And then we will call this crop lists. Okay. Now we have maize, beans, potato, carrots, tomato, and so on. So the list will continue from the crop one. You understand? It's appending. So it will start from. Are you getting this? It will start from the maize one. It will start from the maize one. It will start from the first list. He was pretending to be part of the conversation. I like it. I have a garata da grupo con guarda, come dico però come faccio un po' che date strada come io mi sporo una maravilha sobre essa coisa. Hey, I didn't know that who. É, mano, o caso. Mano, eu faço assim, mano, o caso. Okay, you see the effect of appending? You see that? Okay, it's just adding the. So we can also include what we call after. We can do clock lists. You see, sometimes there is the clocks one, they are the one which comes after, and then the clocks two, they will be another extended list. We don't that. So, but at one point, you may need this list to start from here. To be in the middle, to be the faster. Because by default, it will write the clocks list one and also continue with the second list. But what if I want this list to start with maybe the index, we will talk about the indexes, but maybe the position one or position two. Okay? Yes. Say? Yeah, there's no problem. Don't worry. There's no problem. You can do so. It's fine. So let's crop lists. Crop lists one. Let me call it like that or final. So I assign it. I have to append. Okay. Crop list one. Crop list two. And then we specify what we call after. After what? After what? After one, after two, after three. It depends to the position. Okay. If I say, for example, after two, it will be in this position. Okay. So it will be maize, beans, and then followed by crops two. In the between. You understand that? That is specifying the position. Listen. You see the crops list one? You see the second? When I do append without specifying the after, the position, it will rewrite the first list followed by the second list. You understand? But in this case, I want to have crops one and crops two appended together, but crops two will start from the second position of the crops one. So which means it will be maize, beans, followed by crops two, and the end will be potato. And then we have this one. Then I code this crops list two, and then I call it like this. You see, it will have maize, beans from the first list, and then add the second list, and then the potato will be the last one. Isn't it? Yes. Because we specified the index. Tomorrow we will talk about this index when we are slicing, when we are sorting, filtering, and so on.
Huh? You want to come back? Huh? Hmm? No, tomorrow is Sunday. We cannot make a mistake. Not any difficult things. No, it's no, we are not going to do that. On Sundays, we never come to have difficult things. But I saw you are very committed. You can look far. Because even me, I don't know. To the extent that I can say, I know it. They was like, I'm telling you, I don't know. Because I don't have time to science. Science is sharing. You know something that knows the other thing. Hmm? Yeah. There's one friend who told me, yo, you are the one who provided them for the I said, so I was in and one time he came to me saying, you know, there is one I watched online. They didn't even make the Excel. And I said, you are. So, okay. Now let's say, for example, let me do what we call the binding. Exactly, because that's zero index. So let's say how many crops do we have here? We have three by each list. Are you following? Yes. Now we reach to the other interesting thing, which is called binding. C bind or column bind, or R bind, row bind, binding. So you see, this list, when you do append, it comes as a unique list. But when you do bind, it comes as a table, as a data set. Okay? So let's do this. Let's see, for example, if I say, for example, crop lists. Okay. So I assign that. I say this is column binds. C binds, not one. And then I add crop 2. Then I call C binds. And then I call this crop list. Okay. Okay. You see? Crop 1, a list. Crop 2, a list. This is the table format. I would be there. That is what we call C by column by. You can also do column by. It depends on the data set you have. Okay. But this one is for column by because we have column on this. Okay. Let us do row bind and see. Maybe crop lists. No. 8 binds. 8 binds. Not 1. Not 2.
binds. So, no. See how it comes. Huh? They are different. Okay, which one do you like? Hmm? This one is row wise. Each column is row, isn't it? Now this is the title. This is the title. That's what they want to do. Are you saying that or maybe it's even? Yeah? And now this is column wise. This is row wise. So most of the case we have this kind of data, isn't it? The column wise data. So seed binds is mostly used because we have column wise data. So when you're doing the in Excel, here for example, if you're looking for beans, you can use VLOOKUP because it's very correct. But here you use HLOOKUP because it's very horizontal. Yes. But in most of whatever we have column wise. Is the binding clear? So in the coding, there are some principles. When it is working, you have to ask yourself why. Okay? When it is working, when the code runs successfully, you have to ask yourself why. You don't have to celebrate the code. It may work, but giving you wrong answer because of the some operations or their functions. And when it is not working, you also need to ask why. Why is it not working? Why is it working? Always why. It's working. Yes. And once it's okay. Master one. No, there's programming, the mastering depends on the subject, the experience of the scenarios you have been able to solve. You can master one scenario, but does not mean you master the other. That's the real story of programming. No one can say I'm good at. So when it is working, you have to ask, why is it working? Is it really true? Is it what I'm doing? Is it what I want? When it is not working, you also have to ask why. What is the errors? Are we together? So let's see what we call data frame, and then we finish. We finish with reporting, and yes, reporting will be our last thing to talk about. Then after we get the data in the data set and the script, we are good. Okay. So what is a data frame? A data frame is like a data set. So that is That is, a data frame is like a data set. So, but in R we say data frame. We don't say data frame. We don't say data set. We say data frame. In Python, we also say data frame. Okay? So we don't call them columns, we call them features. Okay? Features. How do you put feature here? What is a data frame? So a data frame, as I said, is a tabular form of the data having different columns structured. Okay, like we are seeing there, but that's not a data frame except we change it to be a data frame. Okay, let's say for example we have still we can use clocks, it's fine. We have clock data, and we assign to be a data frame. When we say data frame, it's like this one. It means I'm converting that into a data set. You get what I mean? Okay. So my data frame of clock one, and also clock two. So I do line it like this. You see, even here it is different from this clock list. Okay, it's the data with the three observations and two variables. You understand? But here it was character data, which has no, like, it was not a data set. I mean, I'm talking about this one, this row, this column. It was not a data frame. Okay, but the data frame, they say they give you how many observations. Observation means values. Okay, and how many variables. Okay, so for example, if I call this clock data, you see, it is a data frame. It is a tabular form. Don't be confused with this tabular form of the output. No, that's not a I mean, it's a tabular form, but not a data set. Okay, you can't do manipulations on that. Okay, yes. So you have this data. So maybe you see I have clock one late. Even the way it shows is different from this one because this one is calling as if this one are string things, but here they are varied. Okay. So also in the data frame, you can do view data frame. V is capital letter V. View V is capital letter. Go to data. And then when you view the one, you see this is data. So it's like visualizing your data in a Excel in a tabular form. Okay, this is what we call a data frame. Are you busy coding or that's all of this functional form. Which color represents each other. Whatever we not start doing on the data frame, these data sets should be done as per a data frame, not as per the okay. Yes, please. Say. The observations and yes. Yes. What's wrong then? Hmm? You have a difference? You want to understand that? I'm coming. You're asking about the observations and the variables. So how many observations do you have here? But where are you getting the three now? What is the observation? Let's say, for example, this is the blocks, okay? And this is the price per unit. And this is the total sales. And this is the what. Where do you get observation? Those are the observations. Observations is one row. One row is observation. One row is observation. Because this is the crop maize, which has this price, which was sold in this one, it is being harvested in this area. You understand? This is what we call observation or a case. You understand? So now the variables are those ones. Okay, crop one is a variable. This can be a crop name. This can be a what? A price. This can be a sale. This one you have to go markets. Sorry, right? Scope and the observations. It's like how many people participate. How many crops do we have there? That is. The cPine does not necessarily make it data frame except you convert it to the data frame. Yes. cBind, the column bind, just because they are showing us column, you can even see here. Just click here. This okay, it was cPine, isn't it? So this one, it's still a vector. They are not considering it as a data set. So, but here the crop data, this is what? This is a data set of 3 variables, and that is the main difference. When you do cBind, it's for the purpose of only binding two vectors, or 3 vectors, or 4 vectors. But it does not make it a table. For you, when you are calling it, you call it and it brings like a table. But in the environment of R, it is not a table. It's still a vector which is a combination of other vectors. Okay, let me call it a matrix. Okay, but also not a real matrix because you cannot learn any operation on that. Let's see here. This is what he's talking about. Here we use the cBind. Okay, we bind this vector and this vector. He's saying this looks like a table, but it is not a table. This one still is a vector because if you look here, they are treating it as a character, which means they are finding even its data type. So the data type here, it is not a data frame, it is a character. It's a vector resulted from other vectors, but it's still a vector. So for you, just because you are seeing in the form of table does not mean it's a data frame. You understand? It's a vector which is a combination of other vectors. But I can change this into a data. You understand? So maybe you can just come here and say it is here. You can say crop
crop list, okay, df, data frame, okay. I say this is data frame of what? Crops. No crops one, because already I have combined them. They are in crops list, okay. So what I'm doing is it's just to convert, isn't it? And then I convert this, I learn it. After I learn it, then I can call it. But even when I don't call it, you see here, crops list. Okay, DF, okay? 3 observations. Now it's a data frame. So now what I can do is crops. I can view it in tabular form. View, yes, crop, okay, here, this one. There's a global environment. So I do this, you can see it is there. So for you to see it as a table, does not mean it's a table. Now we can see how to report, and then we call it a day. Was it a bad day? I don't think it was a bad day. Yeah, you need to do some practice. Can I give you some? I have some 100 exercises. You can do it tonight. What do you do tonight? You go? Yes. I'm not saying you stay here in the night. You can do some exercises. After midnight. What do we do after midnight? Nothing. What do you You're lying on bed. You need to drink. You know how cold is good when you are drunk. I no longer drink, but coding is good when you are drunk. Sometimes you don't know what you are writing, you don't know what it is. You get the error, it does not stop you from taking another bottle. You close the machine, you don't know if you save, you don't care. There is one staff who was running at one organization. Exactly. So there is one staff who he has gone into the data set and cleaned the data set when he was drunk. In the morning we say, who cleaned? Because from the Google Sheet you can see the history who did what, and then we realize it's that person who created the data set. When we asked him why, he was like, no, I wanted to see how it looks when you don't have data. How does the tempo look when there is no data? Because I know the tempo when you have data. How does it look like? When the tempo is there, very genius. He was not tired at that moment. You should stop drinking. Maybe drink water, it's fine. Oops. Talking about libraries, because I don't think I can import the XLS form without library. So, without a package. So, do you recall what a package is? A package, it's a function which is not built in. Like when we were computing the representation and so on, we didn't write any external function. We only said we, then we get the answer. Isn't it? So maybe we get the answer. But for this specific, like exporting CSV, you may not need the library, but here we
We need to read Excel or write Excel library. Okay, how do we go for that? So we have to install it. I said you can either install it here or you can install it here. But the disadvantage of installing it in a script is that when I need to run commands again, I will rerun it again, which does not make a sense. Because installing, you install once. Are you getting that? When you install a package, you don't need to install it again when you're using this one.
And you
Come again? When you are installing a package, you install it once. Like if I'm working on one project and I install different packages, I don't need to install them again, even if it is one workspace. You understand? Which folder? Yes. A package is a box of functions. Okay? Okay? Application. But application, yes, application, maybe it can have several functions. And when we talk about functions, what do we mean? Like, for example, they can be a function. Let's talk about stat small or the other function, which can compute functions like mean, like median, like mode, like what. All these ones are function, but which are embedded into one package. This is what we call a package. The package is there just to help you get different functions. So in R, because R is not for us data people only, it's for the other people. So there are functions which are inbuilt there, which were created with R. You understand? But there are other ones which we need to install in R. Is it now clear? Yes, it is clear. Now, how do we install a package? We come there to the console, we install. There might be ways you can do this file, install package, and then in quotation you put read Excel, because read Excel is one of the packages you need for importing Excel file into R. Read Excel. And please, R can work offline, but when you get to installing packages, it should be on rack. Because you are downloading external functions. You have your computer. You are going to ask me how do you go, right? Giparamubwira ati iyo serivisi rero usigaye iboneka ku irembo ntabwo waciye ku irembo jewe ntimubaze n'umusekirite uhari I want to quote you. You can install in the console or in script. But it is invented of installing in script is this one. You know, I'm saying that when you save, you lose the environment. Isn't it? So you need to bring that all the code. Which means among those codes, there will be also a code for the store, which will be another data work. You understand? You know when you were not here, but when I was trying to before the other what I told them. So you were in brain. It took me 3 to 5 minutes for packages to run. Because there were a bunch of packages there. You understand? So now you don't need to install package in the script. Please come in the console because once a store always installed. Except you change the computer. Once a soldier always okay. Let's install. Then you go here, you hit enter. You wait for that red. This red is that here. It is showing you that it's being out. This has already been installed successfully and packaged and the MP3 file sounds checked and so on. The one I want is that it's successfully unchecked. Okay, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to call this package to use it. Are we together? Please, when you are installing, put the cursor at the end and then hit enter and wait. Because when it is running, it shows you the red button there. No. Okay, so now as we finish to install, we are going to call. How do we call an installed package? We have a function called library. Call installed package. We have a function called library. Library, and then we mention with Excel. It is there. So you call it. To call it means to run it, okay? When it runs successfully, it means it was installed successfully. Every time I tell you to install the package, make sure you also run it. You call it, sorry, you call it. Calling it means you do library and then followed by the package name. Calling. When I say call it, it means library. Because we are calling it to use it. Then we have no, you call it once. Okay, so you have data. Now we are going to hello. Now we are going to bring the other data sets. Okay, let's bring let's go to our folder. Oops. Where is those funny ones? Look. Oh, let's see. So make sure you have these files in your working directory. Do you have that? Okay.
Okay. So it is called, let us bring this live practice data. Copy the name of this file, because I don't want you to struggle writing it here. Okay. What is the expression? We need to take something or excellence. 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 Okay. So let's go here. So the function is called read. Read what? Excel underscore Excel. Okay. And then we specify which file. The file is called live data dot xlsx. And then what we do, we can specify the sheets. Okay, let me check the sheets there. Live practice data, because we don't know, we may have different sheets. Okay, the sheet is called the data. Okay, the sheet name is data. Okay, so then we run and see whether it's okay. Oh, I don't think. And let me see the working working the maybe I changed. I changed the working directory and I don't know. Oh, it has changed. Because I closed my computer and it's okay, I need to bring it back. Okay. Search computer. This way. So for you, it's okay because you didn't close your computer, so the working directory is still there. So there are things I didn't say. So that's all. That's all. Say to the start. The sheet is not called data. It is called. Is it? There is bonus and there is data. I don't think. Okay, okay, let me try without this quotation, but I think quotations are not actually there. Okay. If I don't specify the sheet, it will be a problem. I can see. It is not finding that. Did you change it? What's wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong? Is it working on your end? Please try again and see. Maybe we have some space in the name of the sheets. That's what I'm thinking.
There can be one space maybe in data because let me show you why there is a space. So when we open this, here, there is a space at the start. Let me rename it again at specific. Because there is no way the command cannot work. You see, there was a space. That's why it was not working. So now, for you to pick it up, it was a space. Yeah, you can leave a space or you delete it the way I'm doing. So you see, for example, here I'm doing data like this because me, I don't have a space anymore, okay? But you will do this. You will write data like that, then you leave a space at the beginning, okay? Yes. So let's now learn. Now it learns. There, what one is. So, but at least you can see data is here, 522 observation from 10 variables. Okay, I can view data. You can view data in form of photo, and then you have it like this. Wow, ID, region, district, and so on. You see, by using view, and then import it again. You are able to import, verify. Also, assignments on importing, particularly, you have to ask why. And then you check assignments here, imports, to import also the other sheets, import bonus. Import bonus. We will bring another bonus there and as a data frame. Okay. Yes. We say the back it is not working. It's not working.
Let's see.
So, what's working for that? Yes. The underscore should Now we are ready to start. Can we start at 7 a.m.? I thought you like this around the system that is something Yes. So thank you for today. Then we can continue tomorrow. Any question from people who are following online? Any concern? Are you able to follow? Were you able to follow? Otherwise, let's call it a day. Then if you have any concerns, so we have facilitators to support on that. So see you tomorrow at 9.